The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is coming with plenty of record-breaking specs, including one that we've all been waiting for. We've even got news that we could finally see better performance than the iPhone chips, so make sure you hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So first up, we've had plenty of news that Samsung and Google's partnership is getting even stronger, and they're working together to bring more AI features and functions to your phone to help with your day-to-day life. We saw it this year with Circle to Search, and a new report says the two companies are working on a new version of Gemini Nano for the S25 series. Now, as well as this, there are reports stating that Samsung are going to use a dedicated AI accelerator from Google in the new Exynos 2500 chipset, and to be honest, this could make sense as Samsung already manufactures Google's Tensor chip. Now, while we're on the subject of the Exynos, there were early rumors that Samsung would go Exynos only for the S25 series, but thankfully that's not the case. Samsung went Snapdragon only for the S23 series, which was popular with most consumers, and then for the S24 they used the Exynos in the lower-end models, but kept the S24 Ultra to the Snapdragon only, and this appears to be the best strategy for Samsung, one which they're most likely going to continue for the S25 Ultra. Now, we've also got another report that says the Exynos 2500 is actually going to be more efficient than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, and it's going to offer higher performance while consuming less power. But to be honest, we hear this every single year. The Exynos chipset is improving, but it never outperforms Qualcomm's chips, so take this one with a grain of salt. Now, when it comes to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 though, we've also got news that we're going to be seeing a huge jump in performance this year, and much more than usual. And there are sources claiming that it could reach a single core score of 3500 in Geekbench, and this is a massive jump over the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3's 2100. It's apparently going to achieve this with the new Orion Prime cores and Phoenix high performance cores, and according to the leak, they're going to be clocked at 4.3 GHz, which is much higher than usual. But it also says that the chipset would draw 1.3 volts to achieve those frequencies, and this makes me think that it's not going to happen. Drawing more power is going to create more heat, and as we know, it's going to quickly result in thermal throttling. Now, another change this year is of course going to be the displays, and they're going to be accurate and brighter than the S24 series. And we've also got news that the standard S25 is going to change from a 6.2-inch to a 6.36-inch display. We also have news that the S25 Ultra is going to remain the same size as last year and be pretty much the same in design, but it could be the first S phone to have a full-screen display thanks to the introduction of an under-panel camera. Now, under-panel cameras have been around for some time now, but unfortunately the photo quality just hasn't been good enough. But if Samsung have managed to produce a quality camera that we can rely on, then this is going to greatly improve the phone. Now, we're also going to see huge improvements to speed thanks to new UFS 4-lane storage, and this actually doubles the speed of UFS 4 and delivers up to 8 GB a second of read and write speed, and this is going to greatly improve the performance. Now, something that reportedly won't be improving, however, is the battery capacity and the fast charge speeds, and we're reportedly getting the same or very similar capacities with no upgrades to the fast charging, and this is hardly a surprise given that Samsung have continued to play it very safe when it comes to batteries. Now, for those of you excited for the S25 series though, we're now going to run through the full specs, design, and the expected pricing for all three models in the range, so make sure you hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So first up, we've got the standard Galaxy S25, which is coming with a 6.36-inch dynamic AMOLED display with improvements to brightness and color accuracy. We're getting a 120Hz display with HDR10+ and a resolution of 1080 by 2340, and of course protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. We get a 12-megapixel punch-hole camera for the selfies, and then on the rear it's a triple camera setup consisting of a wide, an ultra-wide, and a telephoto camera, but unfortunately at this time we don't know the exact sensors being used. It's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 in USA, and the global models are going to be using the Exynos 2500, and it's coming with a choice of 8 or 12 GB of RAM and 128 up to 512 GB storage, and this will be UFS 4. It's coming with a 4100 mAh battery with 45-watt fast charging, and it will of course come with 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra-wideband support, and it's going to be launching with One UI 7 based on Android 15, and it's expected to launch from around $800 in January 25. So next up, we've got the Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus, which is coming with a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED display, and again, we get improvements to brightness and color accuracy. We get a 120Hz display with HDR10+, and a resolution of 1440 by 3120, and again is protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. We get a 12-megapixel punch-hole camera for the selfies, then on the rear it's a triple camera setup consisting of a wide, an ultra-wide, and a telephoto, but again, at this moment in time, we don't know the exact sensors being used. Now it's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 in the USA, and then the global markets are getting the Exynos 2500, and it's coming with 12GB of RAM and a choice of 256 or 512 storage, and this will of course be UFS 4. It's coming with a 4900 mAh battery with 45W fast charging, and of course it's going to come with 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra-wideband support, and it's going to be launching with One UI 7 based on Android 15, and it's expected to launch from around $1,000 in January 2025. Now finally, we've got the most premium model, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and the S25 Ultra is coming with a 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED display with improvements to brightness and the color accuracy. We get a 120Hz display with HDR10+, a resolution of 1440 by 3120, and it's going to be protected by Gorilla Glass Armor 2. We're likely going to get a 12-megapixel camera for the selfies, but there are a few rumors that it could be the first S phone with an under-panel camera. And on the rear, we get a quad camera setup consisting of a wide, an ultra-wide, a telephoto, and a periscope camera. But again, at this moment in time, we don't know the exact sensors being used. Now it's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 in all regions, and it's coming with 12GB of RAM and up to a terabyte of storage, and this will of course be UFS 4. It's coming with a 5000 mAh battery with 45W fast charging, and it will of course come with 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra-wideband, and it's going to be launching with One UI 7 based on Android 15, and the S25 Ultra is expected to launch from $1,300 in January 2025. So while the design may look the same for the Galaxy S25 series, we do get plenty of upgrades in the form of the display, the cameras, the chipset and the software, and a lot of focus is still going into AI, and with the partnership between Samsung and Google, we'll no doubt see some impressive new features with the launch of the S25. Now of course, given its similarities to the predecessor, it's probably not going to make anyone with an S24 want to rush for an upgrade, but for anyone with an older S phone or looking to get their first S phone, then it's going to be a great choice. Now of course, launch is still quite a way away at the moment, but we're no doubt going to receive plenty more leaks as we approach it, and of course I'm going to be sharing them as soon as they come in, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.